opportunities for players that we've seen in this competition, the likes of Amrit Basra, Rory Hayden coming in, have performed brilliantly. How excited are you to be working with them?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, this competition creates opportunities. We've lost Narin, Madders, Pat Brown to the 100. So it's created opportunities for other guys. I think Amrit Basra has come in and been exceptional. Rory Hayden has come in, done a wonderful job. I've enjoyed seeing Joe Hawkins play. He bowled quite nicely down at Cheltenham. So to see these guys get opportunities is great. We love this competition for those simple reasons, that it creates opportunities for these players. Yeah, these boys have had opportunity, and some have taken it, and some we've had a look at and say you need to work just a little bit more at your game. So it's a great comp. We've had the likes of Mitch Wagstaff injured. Waggy would have played a lot of this competition. We've had Yusuf sort of in and out, and we got Montgomery on loan, which meant it closed a batting position, which probably Yusi would have had. But of course, we've got Montgomery here now the whole of next year. We thought it was very worthwhile to get him in now. So it's allowed us opportunities to see different players. It's allowed us opportunities to see players under pressure instead of just seeing them in a net situation. So it's been it's been great, and I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the players try and step up and take a role and try and impress. But I've also thoroughly enjoyed seeing our coaching staff with a lot more responsibility without me in their ears all the time.
And off the back of impressing in this competition, Amrit Basra signed a new 2-year deal with the club. It's fantastic news. What have you seen in his performances so far and his time around the first team that's made you want to commit to him for 2 years?
Well, I just think he's got wonderful talent. He hits the ball hard. He takes the game on. He bats with a great tempo, and people don't forget that he's only 23. He's got a big future ahead of him. So I've been really excited watching him go about his business. And I'm really excited to see what we can do with him for the next couple of years.
Yeah, and you talked about Matt Montgomery already. He's coming for the One Day Cup. He's already committed to the club long term, coming in from Nottinghamshire. But how impressed have you been with what you've seen of him so far?
Very impressed, but that's nothing new to me. When we signed him, I knew that we were signing a class player, a guy that's going to score a lot of runs for us, a guy that's going to bat in a pivotal position for us, and a guy who's a winner. So when we bring guys into our county and into our team and squad, those are the qualities I look for, and Matthew's got those qualities in abundance.
And just on the One Day Cup, while it has only been one victory from 5 games so far, there's been a lot of tight moments, frustrating moments in particular. I know that not going on and scoring big at Repton and then the tied game yesterday against Leicestershire stand out. If you put the results aside for a second, how have you viewed the One Day Cup so far?
Yeah, again, I find it a really exciting competition, and I've watched a lot of it, not only us, but a lot of the other counties. And to see how all the counties are embracing this Metrobank 50 over comp is great. And it's what it's meant to be. But if you have a look at, we're disappointing at Repton. We were 250 for 2, set up with a big score and ended with 315. Just lost our way there. But then still had them 11 for 2. And an opportunity to come back. The tied game yesterday, we've had a rained out game, and in between all that, we've played some nice cricket. I've been disappointed with our fielding. We always try and pride ourselves on outfielding teams. We haven't quite been as good as we could have been in that department, and there's been certain areas that we should have nailed, and we haven't. But again, it's generally being done with a lot of younger players who are still finding their way, and that's great to see. That I always say you don't go to Tesco and buy experience. You can't buy a bottle of experience. You've got to go through it to understand it before you can rectify for for the next comp. And when those guys get into the heat of the battle in the county championship or the Vitality Blast, hopefully they've been in that situation before and know exactly what to do and are familiar with it and hopefully get it right the next time.
And just news on tomorrow's game, Pat Brown returns to the squad. There's been 3 players at the 100 so far, Nyron Donald, Wayne Madsen and Pat. Haven't necessarily played all that much. How much consideration has there been to bring them back, or have you been more committed to giving the opportunities to the players who are here?
No, we were committed to giving opportunity to players who are here. There's a lot of rules and regulations around releasing players from 100 squads. In fact, it's not that easy. You've got to not have played for a period of 2 games, consecutive games, which meant I played 1 and then played 1, which matters started. So it's not that easy. And then also you're not allowed to play on the day that your franchise plays. So it's like with superchargers, that coincides 4 times. So it's not that easy. So really lucky to get Pat back tomorrow, and that again that's one of the advantages of me being in the management team there, in the fact that we can get him back and give him a run, and hopefully he goes well for us tomorrow, because he needs a run. But also the same thing is you don't want all those guys, because if we get those guys, we actually don't see any of our younger players. And this competition is designed for that. Again, I reiterate, we want to see our younger players playing in this. It gives them experience, it gives them exposure, and the exposure given to some of our trial players. Hawkins, Basra, Hayden, etc. But also, I don't want to harp on it, it gives opportunity for our coaching staff to step up as well.
And just talking about the younger players, it'd be remiss of us not to acknowledge the success of the Pathway, getting through to the final of the ECB County Plate, the under-18s. Darren Smith's doing a fantastic job with the Pathway, and we're starting to see players emerging into the first team.
It is fantastic, and I think over the last couple of years, the synergy between the Pathway, our academy, and the professional arm has been very, very good. We've seen the likes of these young boys. You can go Harry Moores, Hawkinses, Greens, Matty Stewarts. I mean, Yusuf, Archie Harrison to a point, Waggy a while ago. We've seen these guys come through, and we as a club are very committed to giving opportunity, first and foremost, to our young players that have come through that academy. And Smitty's done a great job. Him and Hearts work very closely together with the second 11. We made a decision this year that we would always defer first to our academy boys to fill our second 11 before we went to outside trialists. And with that, we've seen some wonderful performances from them. Hawkins has come on the radar because of what he did in our second 11. And arguably, that got him a call up into the under-19 side. So I'm loving the synergy between Smitty's program and the professional program. And Hearts and Smitty work very closely together. So for me, it gives me great pleasure and joy when I see a structure that is all aligned and certainly moving in one direction.